Hey guys, so I want to show you guys a titanium bike that I got for less than $1,000, and I think this is a great value if you want a bike that will last you forever, at least on the frames, and also provides a fairly good bump absorption capability during long rides and smooth out your commute. Now this one is it's actually, the frame is made by a company called Van Nicholas. They are a Dutch company, but most of their frames are made in China, so this one is no exception. And this frame is actually, or this entire bike is actually sold by a company called Backroads. They are a bicycle touring company around the world, and they are actually selling some of their titanium fleets. So I was lucky to get one of the 10-speed fleets from the company, and it costs about $700. So, and I think for $700 you get a 10-speed titanium flat bar road bike. That's like a no-brainer. You should definitely get it if you see a deal like that. Now, it also already came with a back rack, so I usually commute and I put my backpack on the back, which really helped to alleviate my shoulder stress quite a lot, because usually I have my backpack packed pretty full and it's pretty heavy. So in that way, when I have the backpack on the back, I can just ride fast and not sweat as much compared to my old commuting technique on my folding bike. So this one in particular comes with a 10-speed tiagra set, triple, so 3x10 speed group set, and it's trigger shifter, but the triggers are also tiagra 10 speed. So the cool thing about those newer tiagra 10 speed is it's a dual action for the downshift, so you can either push forward or you can push downwards. So it's got two directions, so it's really easy to downshift if you have the need for downshifting. When you're riding really fast and you want to go faster, you can do that. For the rear derailleur. For the front, also dual action. So if you want to shift to a like an easier gear, you just press down or push up. Either way, on the thumb shifter on the back, you can do that. So really convenient for the dual action, especially for the tiagra. And the front is a triple, so it's really great for very hilly areas, and if you need to climb a lot, the triple setup really works fantastically. Over on the back, you have the 10-speed tiagra rear derailleur, and again, 10 speed, really good for general commuting. The cassette, I actually switched out the cassette. This is actually a Sunrace 10-speed cassette that I bought. It's 11x32, and in comparison to the standard Shimano cassettes, this one is actually lighter in weight, so it's lighter than the Tiagra cassette. However, if you ask me about the shifting smoothness, I would say the original Tiagra is probably more smooth than the Sunrace, but the trade-off is the Sunrace is actually lighter than the Tiagra. Okay, so if you want better shifting action, make sure you stick with the original Shimano cassettes. That will provide you with the best shifting smoothness, especially if you shift like quite a lot of gears in one push. Say if you want to go from 11 to like 28, if you just push down, and on the Tiagra you wouldn't have any skipped shifts, but on the Sunrace you might skip like a few of those shifts, and it kind of feels there's a large job in between shifts. But again, for me it's okay. I'm using it for commuting, so nothing crazy. This is just a standard aluminum back rack, but it works pretty fine, no complaints. Comes with really nice Grand Prix commuting tires. Those are I think what they call black chili compound with the Poly X whatever. Yeah, right here, Poly X anti-puncture technology, so it's really great for commute. Fairly decent rolling resistance, no complaints. Tiagra 10-speed triple crankset, also no complaints. Everything works perfectly fine, and I already took it out on some, hilly climb rides, and also even took it out on a mountain bike trail, and the bike with current setup actually survived perfectly fine. So it's a very capable bike to take you places, like even for general commuting around the New York City area. It's definitely a very capable bike. Okay, so the wheel set, of course, I actually exchanged the original wheel set, which was a Mavic CXP 22, very common on the entry-level bikes. So I replaced the CXP 22 with my own Ultegra tubeless setup. However, this is not tubeless, it's actually running tubes inside, because I personally still prefer a tubed setup, because it's very easy for me to change a blowout tube on the road than dealing with the tubeless mess if it needs to be fixed on the road. Okay, so there you have it, and I'll show you guys. For the brake, it's a little low-end tactile brakes, so if you guys want a little better setup, I would suggest go with a Avid FR5 or single digit 7. Those brakes works much better, and they also look much nicer. So the stem, I actually replaced the original one. The original one was a 110mm stem with adjustable angle. I don't like those adjustable angle ones because I think they always create like creaking noise. When you ride for a while, the creaking noise becomes like harder and easier to hear. I like a fixed stem, so I used one of my own, which is the Ultegra Drivetrain Pro. This is a 90mm stem. Actually works pretty good with this setup. So again, no complaints. Seat, it's one of my favorite seats. Very affordable and very comfortable. This is actually OEM seat for Bike, which is a German electric bike company. So this OEM seat I got for like 15 bucks, and it works great for long rides, so no complaints there. But again, this frame from Van Nicholas, excellent frame, great for touring, great for endurance rides, because it's not one of those aggressive geometries. As you can see, the down tube is actually kind of sloped, and the chainstay is fairly longer compared to like a racing road setup. So you definitely have the ability to make it aggressive by raising up your saddle, or if you want a more relaxed ride, just like my current setup, you can have the handlebar pretty high and pretty comfortable. So one last thing I want to talk about this Van Nicholas frame is, because it's a vintage frame, fairly vintage frame, from probably 10 years ago, it uses long reach caliper brakes. So because the distance between the brake mounting point and the wheel rim area is actually pretty long, as you can see, this caliper brake, which is a Shimano 105, it's a long range brake, so it goes all the way down, barely all the way down, and covers this area here. So nowadays there are not a lot of long reach caliper brake options out there. There are some, but they're just not designed for performance reasons. They're just designed to be usable. Okay, so the 105 is actually decent enough, but again, I kind of wish this uses a standard reach brakes, so I can easily replace it with a much more powerful Shimano, like a Ultegra brake set. Those brakes works a lot better than those long reach brakes. Okay, so that's the only thing I want to complain about the setup of this bike, but otherwise it's a very dependable titanium bike to have. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about this particular bike, feel free to ask me in the comment section down below. Otherwise, I would be happy to answer all those questions for you. Okay, please do hit the like button or subscribe if you found this video helpful. And again, thank you for watching, and have a great one.